All right, we got some Evan Neal tape here. Let's start off with this play. What's going to happen is it's going to be a one-on-one block, and, what do you want to see him do? You want to see him win his one-on-one blocks. That's the first thing you're looking for. On the edge, when you're not getting any help, can you win consistently? And, this is going to be a win. Watch how right when the play begins, so you see how right off the bat, I think he's doing a very good job of just not allowing the player who's going up against to get by him in any way. At this point, and this is kind of what makes it so difficult going up against Evan Neal, is he has such great lateral movement, right? He is such this incredible athlete. He can move so effectively that you're really not going to be able to get by him. So if you try to get by him, you're really just running by the quarterback, and at that point, you've done nothing. So you can't just run past him, but you have to try to overpower him, but he's a tough guy to overpower because he is so strong, and you're really going to have to beat him with technique if you're going to beat him, which guys have done, but, in this situation, it's not going so well. Look, as you see, Neal is able to finish off this play. Very good stuff from Evan Neal, and, he was able to get a win there. Again, at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. Offensive line tape is always going to be kind of a little bit boring to break down sometimes, just simply due to the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, he won. Let's move on to the next play, because that's all you're hoping for, is just winning consistently. You want him to win consistently. However, a play like this is less boring, so maybe I should stop calling my own YouTube videos boring for a second and talk about the positives. This is something that's interesting here and kind of a good example of what Evan Neal can do and why he is so effective. So again, what's going to happen is it is going to be a one-on-one block against an edge rusher right here, and watch what happens. Daniel Jones takes the snap, and you see right here, the edge rusher is going to get his right arm out and kind of grab Evan Neal's left side of his body right there. That is the main way that 96 for Cincinnati is going to try to finish off this play. So what do you do at this point? You're here. Where do you go from here? Well, typically what you want to do is, I often talk about if it's a right tackle, the right hand is the most important aspect. So for 96, he's using that right arm, kind of a sort of you can call it a stab move, where you use that right arm, his right arm, to then try to be able to knock away Evan Neal's right arm with his left arm. That's typically what you want to do. It can just allow you to get that hand placement over. It's kind of more of a setup than an actual move right here. So how does Neal counter this? Well, one thing you can do is still just try to latch your right arm on to 96 for Cincinnati. That's something that you can do, but Evan Neal is going to do something very different. Watch him use his left arm and just shove him to the side, which, oh yeah, I guess you can do that. If you're that strong, take advantage of it. Use whatever tool you have in your toolbox, and that's just a great move by Evan Neal of, hey, if guys are going to try to do something to you, well, do something else. Totally makes sense. Very smart move and very good one from Evan Neal, and I think certainly something you can get excited about if you're a Giants fan. A play like this is very good, where, I thought he had some issues in the pass protection game, but I've always felt like he has really good run blocking, and I think that showed, and so, the pass blocking cleaning up, that's exciting. With the run blocking being able to, be great, there's a reason why many feel Evan Neal might not necessarily be the best tackle day one of this draft. There might be guys who will come in right away, there's guys who I think that you could argue will be, like Charles Cross, could be a better pass protection tackle on week one. The idea is that week 1, 2 years from now, Evan Neal will be the better one. And it's with stuff like this. So you see who he's going to block and watch what happens. Watch, right when this play begins, gets that a little advantage by being able to just, the defensive tackle did not know exactly who's blocking him, all of that stuff. But I watched him just hold on to that block, and he just held there to where, he was fine. He did his block. He was going to make that work. So just really good stuff there from Evan Neal, and this is the kind of thing that you want to see him do more. Really, he does it consistently, so you just want to see the Giants do this more, use him in the blocking scheme, run plays his way, because he can really thrive at that stuff. And again, with him and with Andrew Thomas on the other side, they could have a great tackle situation for many years to come. Now, there always are going to be negatives. I'm going to talk about the negatives when I see them. Here is a negative. So I've circled him on this play, and what's going to be happening is for Cincinnati, that is what they're doing. It's called a twist or a stunt, where you basically have the defensive tackle and edge rusher kind of swap as though what they're going to be doing. That's the simplest way. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's pretty much what you're doing. Is you're kind of just going to mix up what you're doing at the line to try and fool the offensive tackle, which is going to be Evan Neal on display, or the guard as well. You're just trying to get someone to not realize what's happening. And as you see, Neal is he's slow in picking this up. That could have easily resulted in a sack. It seemed like it just took him a second to fully pick it up, which, listen, it gets everybody, but at the NFL, these things happen a lot. You got to be ready. You got to be prepared, and they happen quickly. They're really difficult to stop. That's why Bill Belichick runs them so much, because they are very effective, especially when you can feel confident it is a passing play, which it probably was going to be on 3rd and 3. So got to be a little bit more aware of that, especially on 3rd downs. That stuff can happen. So yeah. There was this play, which I think you have to qualify as a loss. This is a way that we've seen him get beat in the past as well, which is with some of these outside moves. Watch how it is going to be an outside move, and due to it being a rip move, it's at, you are allowed to grab on, so that's how that works. But still, it's something that you would like to see him not get beat immediately at the line there to begin with. So that's kind of the issue. Again, not the end of the world, but still, you would have liked to see him not get beat there. I think that's reasonable to say. So yeah, that's what I thought about Evan Neal and his performance. As a whole, I thought it was a good performance. I thought that he improved, and that's what you're hoping to see young players do in the preseason. Get better from week 1 to week 2, from week 2 to week 3, and then hopefully from week 3 to week 1 of the regular season. That's the idea, and I think that he's on that trajectory, and I still think that he's playing well. I mean, there are some criticisms. I'm, holding him to a high standard. He was drafted with a top 10 pick. When you're drafted that high, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard than maybe someone who was drafted in round 2. But he has been playing well, and I think that he deserves credit for playing well. There are still some issues. There are still some things he has to clean up. But again, it's assuming the people running the Giants are not morons, which, in the past has been the case. We're hoping it's not the case right now. Assuming that they're not morons, then you would sit here and say that there is a very, they knew that these issues existed. They are not surprised necessarily that those issues are, happening. And I think that they're totally aware of it. And assuming that that is the case, then they shouldn't really be concerned about it. And I do feel like Evan Neal, for the most part, there's not a lot of issues. Listen, every tackle can get beat. Every tackle has ways that they can get beat. Evan Neal has his specific ways he can get beat. I thought he played much better in this game than he played week 1. And I didn't hate his performance week 1. I just thought it was inconsistent. This one, more consistency. That's what you're looking for at the end of the day. So, yeah, that's what I thought about Evan Neal. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.